What's going on, guys? This is Miyasin, and today I'm actually going to be kind of giving you my predictions and thoughts about the YCS, remote duel YCS that is actually going on right now in case you were living under a rock. Maybe your name is Patrick, or maybe your name is Patrick but you're not living under a rock and you're just trying to actually know what my predictions are. And if you're watching this in 2774, I am sorry for you. This video is probably useless for you. Just stop watching. But yeah, just before I actually go into my predictions, I just want you to know that we're actually not gonna have any knowledge on who are going to be the YCS champions for this event for a couple of weeks, because the top 16 playoffs are going to be played in a separate, like, in a few weeks. So yeah, don't go thinking that this YCS is going to be completely over this weekend for everyone, like Europe, North America, South America, everyone. No, don't worry. So yeah, this is going to be pretty large scale, and I think we're already at like 6,000 players overall, like 1,800 for North America, and I don't know the others, but probably a lot. Europe finally was able to fix their weird ruling, I'm pretty sure, with like the DD Crow and the Band 10 ruling. That was so stupid. Drytron randomly tier 0, pretty sure they fixed it though, so you can finally play a deck that isn't Drytron, and you don't have to worry about it being tier 0. With that being said, which kind of decks are going to be dominating this event? But before you start, friendly reminder to like and subscribe. You already know it, and now let's get into this video. So there are already a lot of decks in the meta that can perform really well, and I want to say that it doesn't necessarily mean that the ones that aren't meta are bad or shouldn't be performing well. I'm not trying to say that, but the decks that you're going to encounter the most are going to be Tri-Brigade, Sky Striker, Drytron, Virtual World, Shaddoll Invoked Dragma or Dogmatica, whatever you want to call it, Salamangreat, and Prank Kids. Now, there are reasons why decks are considered meta. It's maybe because of their consistency, maybe due to their power level and their ability to play through hand traps, make multiple interruptions on turn 1, maybe their ability to be really good in the grind game, have a lot of recursion, a lot of, like I said, grindability, and maybe it's kind of easier to pilot, so someone with, I don't know, maybe less experience can easily get into it, whereas there could be like really powerful under the radar decks that, even though they would have the potential and the power level of a meta deck, they wouldn't be considered meta by most people because they wouldn't be able to play those decks, you know, the level of those other players. Now, which deck is kind of considered unanimously by everyone to be the most popular, I guess the best, quote unquote? Well, the most played deck, I'm pretty sure, is Tri-Brigade. Tri-Brigade is probably going to be taking around 20 or 15 to 20% of the representation, not necessarily in top cut, maybe, but at least in like overall representation. I want to say, even though it's not necessarily cheap, it's kind of expensive because a Fractal is like, I don't know how much it is, last time I checked it was like at least 50 or something like that, but the deck is very good at being able to play through interruption. DD Crow does less than nothing against the deck because a single Fractal already gets you 3 cards in grave and a normal summon, and you only really need to banish 2 cards in order to get your engine or your play started. So the deck is already inherently very good. It can get you some pretty nasty interruptions in the form of Revolt, being able to special summon Ominous Omen during your opponent's turn, banishing a card on the field without targeting. The deck just has good main deck monsters. Every single Tri-Brigade monster has the same on-field effect, which only really loses to Valor and Imperm, but the monster stays there, so it's kind of always as if you're getting a better value than your opponent, and when you're combining that with other utility cards like hand traps or actual trap cards, power trap cards like Imperial Order, consistency cards like Pot of Prosperity, so you can easily dig for those power cards, the deck is definitely one to watch out for. Drytron, I don't think is going to be that popular. First of all, because of the ruling of if you DD Crow a Band 10, as it is being attributed for cost for, you know, the effect of Zeta, for example, well, it's not going to be able to trigger since it wasn't in the same trigger location. So that already kind of cripples the strategy in a bit, in a way, a little bit. And I want to say it is the kind of deck that people are already anticipating way too much. People are already kind of ready for that deck with Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. Drytron has a really tough time getting rid of Shaddoll Winda, which, by the way, Shaddoll Invoked Dragma, definitely up there as one of the best decks. I think it will be played by a lot of people. But yeah, Drytron, I don't know. To me, I think the better players are not playing Drytron. I think they're gonna play a deck that can probably grind a little better, probably just has a better matchup against hand traps, doesn't necessarily need to rely on Herald of Orange Light, for example, to play, or like Instant Fusion, Called by the Grave, yeah, sure, if you draw full combo with these cards, you're pretty good at the game, but if you don't, you're bad at the game. I think Prank Kids is going to see a ridiculous amount of play, at least 7%, probably maybe 10%, but at the same time, this is a large-scale YCS, and I want to say the majority of the players who are going to enter this YCS are going to play other decks. The reason for that is because this is a YCS that is kind of low commitment. You don't have to be traveling, so you don't waste any time, you don't waste any money on plane tickets, hotel, food, anything. You're really just staying at home and you really have nothing to lose. So this is the golden opportunity for you to win a YCS with a deck that you love, with you having just nothing to worry about. You are allowed to play the deck that you enjoy. You can play like Dino Mist, freaking Pendulum, whatever, just Cyber Dragon, Infernoid, Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss is actually a really good deck. Actually, all of the decks that I kind of just listed are decent, but you get the point. You don't necessarily have to be a meta sheep in order to kind of enjoy and go far in that event, and this is the reason why I think others will be a tier 0. You get the joke, I keep repeating the same thing every single time. But yeah, Prank Kid's really good. I mean, it's a one-card combo that gets you kind of everything, and if you get ashed on the effect in the graveyard, if you have like Polymerization or Pandemonium with literally any Prank Kids, which is kind of extremely easy when you're playing 11, and when you have place which searches it, well, Merry Christmas, because that's still full combo through a hand trap, and there's kind of nothing that stops it really efficiently. So yeah, Prank Kids, really, really good deck. After that, we have Salamangreat and Sky Striker, which I want to say are probably going to be tied up, and the reason for that is because both of these decks are very similar. What do they have in common? Let's try to... Oh, they both existed in the same format. Yeah, 2019. Oh, 2019, that was like the last year before coronavirus, right? Ah, now I get it. Okay, so everyone who kind of stopped playing the game because of the virus, well, guess what? If they were playing Salamangreat or Sky Striker, well, Merry Christmas for them, because they don't have to be spending any money on those new cards, those new decks, whatever. They can just buy like 3 staples and that's it. They have like an already competing deck. So because of that, Salamangreat and Sky Striker probably combined will be maybe 15% of the representation. And I'm really saying that because the decks are still very good. Mirage Talio is gigantic. It's overpowered, I want to say. It really changes everything for Salamangreat. It's not like a small support. No. It's pretty big. And then for Sky Striker, well, Engage is insane when you have at least one, because you can still resolve one Engage like 5 times per game. So that's kind of nasty. Draw one. Draw Engage into Engage a Judge. Yeah, no, that's a different story though. But you get the point. Sky Striker, Salamangreat, absolutely ridiculously good decks. But yeah, that's all I really had to say for this video. I don't know what you guys actually think of this YCS. What do you think will be topping, winning, and just overall played in this event? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. It motivates me so much to keep making videos like these, and I will see you next time. Peace.